Hello, we're going to talk today about a trigger topic which is called power struggles. And power struggles occur a lot in kids that have feeding and swallowing issues, or kids that are picky eaters or selective eaters. And it's basically a battle over control. And power struggles result in resistance and defiance. So they are absolutely something you want to try to avoid. You can make two choices when your child is attempting to pull you into a power struggle. You can either engage or you can choose not to engage. The more you engage in a power struggle, the more power you give your child. They have all the power if they're getting you to engage in that power struggle. And the more you engage in that power struggle, the more of that power you're giving to them. And the more power they have, the more powerful they can become. And it can become very challenging when they think or they know that they have all the power in the relationship. And that can be very challenging as a parent. Engaging in a power struggle teaches the child that defiance is the way to deal with the challenge. And that certainly is counterintuitive to probably what you really want to occur. You don't want to have that child feel like the way that they need to communicate or the way that they engage in a situation that's challenging for them, maybe eating a new food, trying a new food, seeing a new food, even participating in a touch or whatever, depending on whatever level your child is at. If you give them that power, that will just make it more challenging and they become more defiant. What you need to do and ways to deal with this challenge is, number one, let your child understand what's expected of them, making sure that it's age appropriate and skill appropriate. What does skill appropriate mean? That means that they have the ability to chew and safely swallow the food that you're giving them. If the child does not have great lateral tongue movements, is not chewing in the back surface, they're only chewing in the front, they may not, and likely do not, have the skills to chew something like a grilled chicken or broccoli or fish or things that you're trying desperately hard to get them to eat because it's more nutritious. Providing them choices is also a good way to do it, and we've already talked about safe foods, and we'll do another, I'll do another video on safe foods, but making sure that within that meal time, they know what the expectations are and you give them choices. When they have choices that you control, you win, the child wins. When you have choices, you have more control. And that's basically what the child's trying desperately to do, is to get more control. And manipulating the situation to reinforce positive behaviors is also the best way to deal with it. And what I often do when I'm working with a child in therapy that's becoming defiant and trying to get into a control battle with me, I first of all bail out. I know that I am never going to win a battle with the child. I know that they're always going to win. It's just not a smart thing for me to engage in, so I don't. I bail out, and that way they don't have the power. And I also give them the choices. And when they feel like they have power, they have control, which they do by making a choice, then you create a child that's not nearly as defiant. They're more open to trying things, and you can manipulate the environment to let them think it was their choice to try something. And ignoring those disruptive type behaviors is in your best interest, because then you won't accidentally reinforce those. And what we certainly don't want to do is reinforce a negative behavior around feeding. So what to do to avoid, or when you're in power struggles, is number one, just bail out. Do not participate in a power struggle. Like, get out of that situation. Offer them choices of safe foods that are appropriate for their skill level, developmentally, as well as oral motor skills, and reinforce the positive behaviors. That way, and don't even talk about the negative. I mean, if you see negative behaviors, you can either turn your head which is what I do a lot of times in therapy, is I just turn my head and pretend I don't even hear what they're saying. I kind of act like I don't even know that they're even trying to do something. And then I try to turn it around by, talking about something I'm doing or something I'm engaging in with food. And kids are curious. They want to do what you do. And that way, if you provide that model, that will also help get you out of that power struggle. Just remember, parents, you're not going to win that power struggle. Even though you're older than them, you're smarter than them, they have more time, they have more energy and they don't have competent skills to deal with conflicts, and that's what they do. And if you reinforce by engaging, then you're teaching them those are the ways that they need to deal with conflict or something that they're concerned about, and that way they're going to be using those skills that is really more negative than it is positive. So I hope that was helpful. Please just work your hardest. Of course, they're always going to engage you and you're probably going to get into a power struggle. But when you're in there, just remind yourself, okay, I need to just get out of this and just get out. Do not engage in that power struggle. Good luck. And if there's anything I can do to help, check out my website, feeding.com. You can also please leave me a comment. Please like, please subscribe so you don't miss any of these. I've gotten a lot of comments that these are really helpful, so hopefully you can forward it to a friend. Hope you have a great day. Thanks for listening. I appreciate your time.